And welcome back to Dragon Ball Z What If. What if Chi-Chi continued to train? Last time on the Dragon Ball Z What If, Goku had shown up at the end where Piccolo had lost his life sadly, and Chi-Chi, Gohan, and Krillin were barely hanging on there. Now it was brought up in the last part whether or not Piccolo would even survive this still, because he should have been wouldn't he have been motivated to get stronger because of Goku being that much farther ahead of him, and B, he was still relatively fresh from the fight, because Chi Chi was taking the brunt of the attack. Well, to respond to the first one, ju- in theory, yes, but I don't see even if he was stronger, it wouldn't be by a huge margin in this case. This is because he still has to do everything he's doing in the original, taking care of Gohan, looking after him while doing his own training and training Gohan. So even if he is training a little bit harder, or even a lot harder, I don't see a huge boost beyond that. He might be just barely hitting Nappa's level. But even then, it is what it is. Even so, even if he hadn't taken a lick of damage, which would not have been the case, he still would have taken some damage in the fight. He just wouldn't have taken like a brunt. That would have been going on Chi Chi. Um, even if he had taken, even if he was still, by the way, I didn't specify that he didn't fight with Nappa. A lot of that fighting would still go on as such, so he would still be taking some damage in that. Even if he was the same strength as Nappa, though, a full power blast from an Anger Nappa, and as we've seen, Saiyan Raid boost, pure Saiyan or otherwise, is no joke. Piccolo would still probably be down for the count, if not near death. But that said, that's just my opinion. That's how he played out. But anyway, they flew off. Goku and Vegeta are squaring off for their fight. Now remember, I put Goku right now around 12,001, just shy over 12,000. This means that when their fight starts, Goku is still on the losing side of the fight, just as he is in the original, but it's a much smaller gap. As a matter of fact, all he does is crank up the Kaioken to just playing Kaioken, and he's already equal to Vegeta's full power, if not a little beyond it. And Vegeta is aware of this. Like, how the hell is he doing it? He's matching me. This is not this can't be possible. But because they're matching, the fight goes on for a little longer until Goku finally Kaioken times two's it and goes to over 24,000. Now he's completely eclipsing Vegeta. And we get basically now to the point where Vegeta throws the Gallic gun at his face, because now he's at that level of power where that's what would have happened. Except Goku can handle this power no problem. Obviously, Vegeta goes into the Gallic gun, Kamehameha, fire! They clash. Again, the problem here is that Goku can just crank up to another level of Kaioken safely. So he immediately goes up to Kaioken times 3, which is over 36,000, plus a Kamehameha, and it completely overwhelms Vegeta, tossing him up in the air. So at this point, Goku's now looking up in the air. He's like, "Yo, Goku, are you okay? Hey, Yajirobe, what are you doing here? Watch your handiwork. I was about to help you, but it looked like you had it covered." And yeah, so Goku was just waiting for Vegeta to come back down. Eventually, Gohan and Chi-Chi both agree that no, we gotta go help your father / help my husband. Even though at first she's like, well, Gohan, look, I know I want to help your dad too, but we just aren't strong enough at the moment. It's like, Dad, it's like, Mom, it's like, this is Dad. Even if he's strong, we've got to help him no matter what. All the friends we lost, we got to do something. And Krillin's like, look, kiddo, I know you want to help. I want to help too, but your mom's right. We just can't do anything. We're just not up for this at the moment. And Chi-Chi's looking at her son, who's got this pleading but powerful look in his eyes. Just, oh, Krillin, we're going. What? Are you kidding me? Come on, we don't have to do this. Krillin's like, oh God, why? I don't want to die again. And so they fly off, but Chi-Chi's like, I'm keeping an eye on you. You got that going? Right, Mom. And yeah, so they fly off, and eventually Vegeta's laughing, and I was like, so you destroyed the moon preemptively. I admire your gumption. I admire your strategic planning, Kakarot. What? Destroy the moon? What? I didn't do anything. but we found a way to create artificial moons. And so he throws the fake moon up and turns into the great ape. And as the gang gets there, um, and they see the giant ape Vegeta, and this is like, oh man, it's like, no, what? And Goku's doing his best to stay alive, or cranking his Kaioken up to times 4, which is now harsher on his body, but at least giving him a nice boost to stay ahead, stay one swing ahead of the breadline, one swing ahead of the sword. To do the little lad there, he's basically keeping out of death's reach. He does the solar flare, starts to pump up the spirit bomb. The gang gets there as he's unable to stop Vegeta from doing anything, or stop Vegeta from stopping him. Spirit bomb gets temporarily lost. He gets grabbed. Starts to get his limbs crushed, but all of a sudden, Krillin, Gohan, and Chi-Chi, do an energy blast him in the other little brats. It's like Goku. Chi-Chi goes there. Meanwhile, Krillin's like, oh God, Dad. It's like, go on and take this, Chi-Chi. Take this. Pass it if you can't. If you don't think you can get the shot, give it to Gohan or Krillin. It's all the remaining energy I have left. And so, he hands off to Chi-Chi as Vegeta's been distracted the whole time. At this point, Yajirobe would have cut his tail off, and Chi-Chi just looks at him as Krillin's about getting his ass, or Yajirobe's getting his ass handed to him, and then he's like, "You, it's like what? What do you want, woman?" And it's like, "Yeah," and he just sees the energy. Please. Is that the best you can do? Go on, you got it. Bounce it off of you. What? Don't worry, you're a good guy, Gohan. But you're good, so it'll bounce off you, or it will kill you. What? And then just bounce off. What? And then he gets, foobarred, but he gets back up. Everyone's exhausted. Gohan's tail ultimately grows back. He gets his tail cut back off, lands again on Vegeta, and then just broken and beaten, collapsed under a naked child. Yep, I'm about done here. And so they threaten to kill him. Goku says, no, I want to fight him again. Let him go. It's fine. He's no longer a threat. And so Vegeta goes off. Now, I do think the whole Dragon Ball thing is still very much up in the air, because I think the Saiyans would come because they heard about the Dragon Balls. I think that still happens. And because they heard that they went there for the Dragon Balls, Frieza's been here about the Dragon Balls, including Frieza, and there, so the Namek saga is still going to happen. Now, Goku's still got to recover on his own, and Krillin, Gohan are going to head to Namek. But Chi-Chi at first is going to be like, no. I just had to deal with you being gone with Piccolo. We may be a martial arts family, but you are still my son, and I'm not letting you go on your own. It's like, well, Mom's like, please, I have to do this for Mr. Piccolo. And even though she made peace with that idea of Piccolo taking care of him and thanked him for it, doesn't mean she likes the idea of him going off on a strange planet just with Krillin and Bulma. So Chi-Chi accompanies them. So that changes things up a little bit. Chi-Chi decides to go to Namek. And I'm including her going to Namek because this is the only way we can kind of keep her relevant for a while. Because once we get past Namek in terms of the power levels, none of the humans are relevant up until the Dragon Ball Tournament of Power. So Chi-Chi is helping go on his studies. They're keeping high, brushing up on their training. Ultimately, they get the Namek. They're sensing the power levels. Chi-Chi, Gohan, and Krillin go, and they see that fighting force. And as a mother, Chi-Chi is appalled by what's going on. She's seeing how the children are being treated, how one of the kids is killed. But she also knows, we can't. She can sense that power level too, and so can Gohan and Krillin. But that doesn't stop Gohan. It's like, we can't go there. We have to wait for Goku. This guy is way too bad. This guy is nuts, crazy powerful. It's like, Gohan, no. And then he goes there and just slams the door as a crap. And then and Chi-Chi actually, thinking real quick, just solar flare. It's like, Saban. It's like, yes, Lord Frieza. What was that? I don't know. But it was a really annoying flashing that light in our eyes. Indeed it was. Dodoria, who was surprisingly he like had his eyes closed and I was like, yes, Lord Frieza, can you see more effectively than us? Yeah, my eyes were closed. Why? So would you mind chasing them down and killing them for me, please? Would be my honor. And so he flies after them. They're in a bind. Again, they get out of it the same way they did originally, and then Vegeta comes in, whoops the Doria's ass. And so, yeah, now Vegeta's arc stays about the same in this, whereas we eventually do get the inner potential unlocks of everyone in that came to Namek. Now, I think what would happen is first Krillin would go get the Dragon Balls or get the Dragon Ball. I believe that he's the one who got the Dragon Ball. He gets the inner potential unlocked, and then Gohan and Chi-Chi would both end up going with Guru or going to Guru together. Again, keeping an eye on her son, as Krillin is, left behind to look after Bulma in this case. So where would that put their powers at? Well, if I gotta get Krillin's power level up here again. I don't have the power level books in front of me, but I can say Krillin power level. Krillin power level. If I remember correctly, his full power overall, when it was all said and done, I think my Namek, if I had to send it Daizenshu anyway, his power level is calculated at 70. It was 75,000. That's right. And from the 15, so it's actually very easy math you can do from there. From the 15,000, that puts him at, so that's times 10, and then that's times 40. And if I'm not mistaken, he took a 40, not 42, 44. He took a 46 times increase of his power. At 18,000, we can kind of just get a rough estimate. He's over 80,000 in this version. Not by a huge margin, but he's over 18,000 or 80,000. Gohan would still be his basic power level and still get the general boost. He hasn't actually increased any differently here. It's Chi-Chi we got to really think about. The question is, what is Chi-Chi's, power, potential? I would put her roughly. I'd put her roughly somewhere in the Krillin area, but probably on a higher level just because of her lineage with the Ox King. So let's put it at even 50. So her initial multiplier would be 24,000. Her overall, when it's all said and done, is 150,000, which is no small feat. That puts her well above most of the other individuals in. Sorry, I'm now just reading. I'm now just reading the power list I got here, and I have no idea where people are getting these power levels from. But God bless them. Anyway, I digress. So yeah, when Vegeta eventually shows up at Guru's place and confronts them, Chi-Chi comes out and he's actually impressing. I see. Impressive woman. So you've somehow managed to gain quite a bit more energy. If we had met back on Earth, I might be in trouble. But unfortunately, you're still nothing. You're still nothing compared to me. And yeah, right now Chi-Chi's like, yeah, but she's also got Gohan there, and he can sense Gohan's about close to as strong as he was on Earth as well. So if they teamed up, he might have a bit of a problem. But then they sense the energy of the Ginyu Force coming, and the Ginyus are no joke. So they have to team up, go and find Krillin and Bulma, go get Dragon Ball, but then they obviously hesitate, as they still would, not trusting Vegeta that much. And then the Ginyus show up, take the Dragon Balls, and they're told to finish him off. Gildo wins out. And the fight starts up, gets going. And to be fair, Krillin's power would actually be increased at this point to about like 1,700, higher than what he was in the original, but he's still going to get his shit kicked in by Raccoon. Chi-Chi, after the Goldo thing, is probably closer to about 30,000, which is right around where Vegeta is. Unfortunately, Raccoon was able to trounce Vegeta pretty good too, and Chi-Chi's not much stronger, if stronger at all, than him at the moment. So even though they try to tag team him, And he does, comes like, you guys are really strong. And you, young lady, you would love to go out with Raccoon, 'cause it rhymes with doom. And you're gonna be yelling my name, sister. So, yeah, everyone still gets their teeth kicked in by Raccoon up until Goku shows up, which, given the fact we're at the 15-minute marker, let's talk about Goku. With a Zenkai, a basic Zenkai at around 12,000, he'd be roughly at 16,000. He'd be at roughly Vegeta's power level, which means he can handle the gravity chamber a lot more effectively for a lot longer. Granted, he's still only there for the 9 days for the training he did, but still, he can handle the higher gravity for a longer period of time, which means he, in theory, should be getting a higher boost, a higher multiplier. He took allegedly a 10 times multiplier, a 9 times multiplier in the original. Here, you could go, I would be willing to argue he'd be at an even 200,000, which would kind of roughly be like not a 10 times multiplier, but like a 12 point something times multiplier. Not drastically different, but still a large multiplier, a larger multiplier. So he shows up, and again, complete as the series would go, completely trounces the Ginyu Force. Vegeta is, he could be a Super Saiyan, as everyone else's powers are increasing as well from, the potential unlock, as well as Zenkai's all that. Ginyu shows up. They go to the ship. Ginyu shows up. Goku and him fight, swap bodies. Now, this would pose at least a fun little scenario where Chi-Chi's just like, Goku, you're back! And then, are you okay? Did you hit your head? And Gohan's like, Gohan would be wondering if it's his dad too. I think it'd be Chi-Chi who would figure out it's not Goku first, just by his demeanor. She's known him longer than Gohan has, and she knows his demeanor. Um, uh, so Vegeta, so she'd be like, "You're not Goku." Very perceptive of you, woman. Oh, I get it. You're this one. You're this guy's. You must be this guy's wife. No wonder I couldn't pull the wool over your eyes. Oh well, you'd probably have a better time with me anyway. I'm probably a lot more fun at parties. No, too bad. Oh well. And he tries to flex his power, and it's not working. And he's gotten a large boost since then. And she and Gohan, and honestly Vegeta, kind of wail on Goku's body for a while. Because Chi-Chi is used to training with Goku. She has no problems beating on him. Ultimately, Goku is able to get his body back as Vegeta and Chi-Chi. I think this is where Vegeta and Chi-Chi are on the same page. Want to just crush Ginyu, but it's like, no, leave him alone. He can't hurt anyone now. And so they leave him be, put him in the healing pod, get the wishes going. Vegeta comes out though, and they can sense how powerful Vegeta's unfortunately gotten, and no one is strong enough to do anything about it. Piccolo is still wished back, and that's where Guru passes. Nail is down for the count, and a Frieza shows up. A lot of the same beats are happening. That's why I'm kind of cliff noting at the moment. But Chi-Chi is there as well, and it does, like I said, it does give a few different a few minor changes. Goku's stronger because he's stronger. He trained with Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi's there, and she's got a huge boost. Likewise, if the series progresses in a certain way, Gohan could possibly get a lot stronger. So there is a lot more that can be offered to the story. Right now, though, there's a lot of the same bullet points going on, because just having Chi-Chi there and stronger doesn't overly change much. At least it didn't in the circumstances that were available or that were happening. But they could change later down the road given the right circumstances again. But anyway, we're going to leave it at that. It's a little bit of a shorter chapter today. It's late. I'm pre-recording this for tomorrow/today, and I'm also running low on batteries. So that's my thoughts. Well, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for part 3 next Saturday. Until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.